Speaking of
So holy Butch Rainbow Dash.
matching ships by color, that was a big reason why I shipped Beast Boy and Raven, was because
Oh yeah,
their colors were the inverse of each other. I'm like, oh, they're perfect for each other. But like also that they also had really good chemistry.
they did. They had super good chemistry, and so I used to read the actual like Teen Titans comics before the cartoon came out.
Yeah.
And so like the shipping in the comics is not subtext like it is in the show. It's
Right.
text.
Yeah.
Like Beast Boy is absolutely adores Raven, and it's super cute. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah. And as much as I hate Teen Titans Go, that shitty Flash animated abomination of a show, I do love how they go more for the Beast Boy and Raven shipping, where like they definitely take jabs at each other, and even like Beast Boy calls Raven Mama as like a sort of pet name sort of thing.
I haven't watched that, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
And there, it's the show is outrageous. There's an episode where Raven goes without her cloak, so it's just her in her leotard. Mm-hmm. And there's this not so subtle reference about how aroused Cyborg and Beast Boy are. It even has a shot of Cyborg punching a bowl of meat, like he's punching his meat. Or I'm sorry, he's beating his meat. Yeah, he's beating his meat.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah. I'm still waiting. There was some sort of confirmation. Oh yeah, the actual animated Teen Titans you knew and love is coming back. I'm still waiting on that.
Right? God, the ending for that though was heartbreaking.
Oh man,
with him meeting up with Tara after she like. But on the flip side, that was a better ending for Tara than what she got in the comics.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, rip Tara.
Yeah. I loved Beast Boy throughout that entire animated series. He was my go-to guy. I rooted for him all the time, and I hated Robin. He was a fucking prick.
Well, and the thing was, okay, so my problem with Robin, honestly, was because they like tried to go like the shipping angle with Starfire.
Yeah.
Which is very Dick Grayson Robin, and that's fine, except that Robin's general attitude is much more like Tim Drake.
Oh yeah, where he's very cold.
Yeah, because Tim took a lot of Tim's traits. Really, you can see a lot more of Bruce in Tim than you can in Dick, especially later.
Yeah.
Just because Dick Grayson which is the entire reason why he becomes Nightwing, is he's like, nah, Bruce, you need to unfuck yourself, and I'm gonna go here. But yeah, that was I like Tim Drake because I think he's a very interesting character. The problem is that just them trying to do they basically tried to fuse three Robins together, and I was like,
yeah.
Can you guys not? Could you pick one and just stick with that?
Yeah, I'm not too well versed on the comic side of thing. I never got too invested in that, but now that the Pony Show is over, I'm gonna have to find something to take up my time and my interest in my hobby. So I've already picked up some manga from Barnes and Noble, so I might as well start getting into comic book collecting at this point.
I blame my junior year English teacher for this, actually, because he loved comics, and he taught junior English for 3 hours of the day, and then had a couple other things. I think he did yearbook and newspaper, I think, were the other two. But he had just tons of comics, and I was always the kid that was getting shit done early.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things he would say is like, he's like, well, I'll just go read comics. And so at one point, like, we were doing some English unit, and I'd completed the unit like 2 weeks before, so I had 2 weeks to do jack all. So I basically organized his entire comic collection, which he thought was hilarious.
Nice.
Because I was bored. But then I went back through and started reading them. And like, so that's where like I picked up a lot of that. And then I ended up like staying after like class and stuff, talking with him. And he kept having to write me like, don't let her be tardy notes, basically, for my French class. My French teacher was getting so frustrated because I was constantly late for second hour. But it was really funny because, yeah, basically, but yeah, that's where I started reading that. I really got into Teen Titans. He ended up buying me the first omnibus edition of the new Teen Titans comics.
Nice.
Which had Beast Boy in basically, it was very similar to the cartoon, but basically, like, because Beast Boy and Cyborg and Starfire were all part of the original Titans with like Dick Grayson and what was their name? A couple other people, basically, before he became Nightwing. So they basically take on the role of trying to like teach all the younger superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their first arcs was rescuing Raven, which was really cool.
Nice.
So I was like, but yeah, I liked that series a lot. So I was like, so that one I picked up on, and then like also like rereading like Ultimate Spider-Man was always fun, just because that version of Spider-Man has Peter as like this super intelligent slacker, which is something that I've never actually seen any of the movies do, which makes me sad because that was my favorite version of him, where he's just kind of like, yeah, no, I know this shit, I just don't feel like doing anything about it. I just remember like, because I remember his crowning moment of like awesome for me wasn't actually in a fight scene. It was he's sitting there and like basically daydreaming about like stuff he needs to do and like all the crime fighting stuff in class, and his teacher calls on him realizing that he hasn't been paying attention, and Peter looks at the board that has this really complicated math problem, answers the math problem correctly, and then goes back to fucking off, and the teacher's like just throws up her hands like, I can't even I don't know what to do with you, Parker. And he's like, meh. So but yeah.
Was this also the same Peter Parker where he was just like really sarcastic and snarky?
Yes. Yeah, he's super sarcastic. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man was one of the reboots I think that they started in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And basically, yeah, he was just this sarcastic little shit. And yeah, he spent a lot of time sassing everybody. Which you see bits of that, I think, a little bit in a little bit here and there in some of the Spider-Man movies, but like not as nearly as much as I would have liked. Honestly, I think what's his name, the new kid that plays Spider-Man actually gets the closest
Tom
to
Holland.
that. Yeah, Tom Holland. My one criticism is that he still keeps Peter as awkward, and I'm like, don't make him awkward. Just have him be a confident shit.
Yeah.
It's funnier that way.
Yeah, it is.
But did you see the Into the Spider-Verse movie?
Heartshine, let me tell you. Into the Spider-Verse has got to be one of the best fucking Spider-Man movies I've seen. That was my top favorite movie of 2018. It's a great fucking movie.
Oh my god. Okay, good. Because the Peter, the old Peter, the like washed up 40-year-old divorcee Peter,
yeah,
is based on I think it's the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
he's the one that you frequently like if you ever look up the any of the little comic clips that have to do with Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that deals with him. And I think my favorite scene is like when in one of the Avengers comics, they're like, Tony's talking to him about like how he can save the world and that sort of thing, and Peter's like, Spider-Man's like nodding along, and he's like, also we have money, and then the next panel is Parker crying on the Iron Man. Because he's like so poor.
Right. man, that's great. I think I'm gonna get into comics and start talking about that and manga.
It's a lot of fun, and manga's a lot of fun too. I mean,
do you read a lot of manga?
It's been a while. I used to read a lot more in college, and high school. I was reading. I actually was keeping up with. It's so dorky. I was keeping up with Attack on Titan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like every time I was reading it, I was like, "Oh God, this is making me physically ill to read. Dear Lord, everyone's dying. Oh God, oh this is bad. Oh okay, there's a small moment of happy. Okay, there we go. Oh God, everything's dying." But yeah, because I used to read a lot of those. Manga was I swear this probably had side effects, but I remember I read the Evangelion manga,
mm-hmm.
which actually kind of makes sense.
It makes sense in terms of the narrative. Gotcha.
Yes, yeah, in terms of the narrative, yeah. The Neon Genesis Evangelion manga makes a lot more sense because I think it skips the last 2 episodes of like pure screaming.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's a lot of them that I know are good. I just haven't looked at it in a while, and just being so far away from Barnes and Noble, I haven't had a chance to see what's out there.
Yeah, I actually just started reading Neon Genesis Evangelion about last week, and I only read the first chapter. But it's like really interesting how it just opens up on Shinji leaving school with like I don't know, I forget her name, just this woman who picks him up in this middle of an abandoned city while the angel is attacking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the lieutenant. I can never remember what her name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just opens with that and you're just like, oh no.
Yeah. Like, what the hell is going on? And then, like, and chapter 1 leaves off on Shinji and the woman going to that base where his father is, and he's like, our pilot has arrived. It's like, how are you telling me you have been subconsciously training your child how to pilot a robotic angel? Like, what the hell is going on here? How do you do this? How does that work?
I love that because that's the get in the robot Shinji, and he's like, no, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is the worst 15-year-old on the planet, because what kid, even no matter how shitty a relationship you have with your dad, like, I don't know my birth dad, but if my birth dad like had some chick pick me up after school and like dragged me somewhere and said, hey, I'm your dad, and I would have been like, well, you're a dick. He's like, yeah, but pilot the robot. I'd be like, fuck you, but I'm getting in the robot. There's not a lot of hesitation there.
Right. And speaking of the ending of Evangelion, did you see that fan-made parody someone made when the My Little Pony movie released, and like it was a crossover with Evangelion?
I did not, but that sounds amazing and yet horrifying at the same time.
Hey Jimmy, pull it up. I'll get it for you, and you can watch it. And it's pretty much the ending of Evangelion, but My Little Pony.
I'm just seeing the like face coming out of
that's exactly.
And it's Twilight instead of like. Oh God.
Hopefully, I can get the right video here. Of course, it wouldn't show up as MLP Neon Genesis. Ah, damn it. Okay.
Right, because it's Asuka and Rei. That's who it is.
MLP movie leaked ending. Let's try that. It's not actually the leaked ending. It's a shit post.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, there that is, and then I'll watch it myself.
Leaked original ending. Oh God. The drawings.
Dear Princess Celestia, I have learned a very valuable lesson about friendship.
I didn't learn anything. I was right all along.
How do I start? Starting is easy. All you have to do is make a friend. Maybe you should just try being yourself.
You still don't trust me.
My friends don't like my parties and they don't want to be my friends anymore. What did you hope for?
Darling. Anything I can do to help?
I think we should leave.
Oh,
Don't
this is
even
beautiful.
think we're still supposed to be friends.
Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony said, "This is your dream. Anything you can do in your dreams, you can do now."
I'm Fluttershy, and I don't know.
Always be careful with knives.
Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle.
パイロットの反応が限りなくゼロに近づいていきます。エヴァシリーズおよびジオフロント、イーソーを通過、なおも上昇中。エヴァ前期健在。リリスよりのアンチさらに拡大物質化されます。
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen because I actually understand what the hell's going on.
Right.
アンチ AT フィールド臨界点を突破。ダメです。 生命の形が維持できません。
The anti-8 field.
Fucking gack.
Oh yeah, the gack back. I forgot about that. Oh my god. This. Ah, yes, everybody turning into orange goo. As we all return to Tang, as we
Oh
should.
god, it's Nyx!
Oh god, I forgot. Yeah, it is. She just boots Nyx into the moon. Oh my god. I shouldn't find this as funny as I do. Oh god.
Well, you understand the context more than I ever could, because I have no idea what's happening.
Well, in this version, everyone is turning into Gak as opposed to returning to Tang. I don't even know how the fuck to understand that, explain this. Horse, have you ever seen Evangelion?
I haven't, but I'm vaguely familiar.
So, the thing is basically the world is being reborn, and that all of humanity is turned into human Tang. And that the only ones that survive are Shinji and Asuka, as they are the new Adam and Eve, as they were the only pure in spirit, I guess?
Oh, Christ.
Oh.
Okay, look, this is Japan's take on Christianity, like, and the dude that was literally writing it went off of the massive amounts of antidepressant medications during the last 2 weeks of production, so he was pretty much having a psychotic break at the point that the ending was written.
It looks like he did, yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's why, like, this probably, like, Twilight was better before she got wings. So yeah, it's a thing.
That was wonderful.
I'll have to watch it later because